Welcome back to the lab. This morning, finally, we've made an actual start on the roll cage for Abby the Barina. So the first thing you do, if you're doing a roll cage install in the car, figure out where your seat's going to go. Figure out where your finger's going to end up on the screen. Where the seat's going to go in the car. That is the primary thing, the most important thing. You want the seat in the right spot for the person who's going to drive the car, or persons, or at least compatible with multiple people if that's the case for the vehicle. Once you've got the seat in the right spot, then you can start working out where your main hoop ends up, where your door bars end up, where your harness bars end up, where your door bars end up relating to your harness bar, where your backstays end up relating to your main hoop, where your diagonal's going to be, whether it's going to be in the main hoop or whether it's going to be in the backstays, and all that sort of carry on. The other thing to consider is how the driver, might not be the driver, how the owner of the vehicle wants their cage to look, the aesthetics of it. There's many ways to skin a cat. So a good thing to do these days, because it's so easy, just get and go on the internet. It might be you, it might be your car you're building a cage for, so just go on the internet, have a look around, see what other people have done. Make sure what you're choosing complies with the rules and regs for your particular class, country, vehicle, association, etc. And then you can crack on with it. So in this case with Abby the Barina, we've not 100% bolted the seat into the car. It's got a bracket on that side, so that's actually an odd one out. The other half of that bracket set is in the march. That's fine. And the other side's literally sitting on that base, I guess you'd call it, that mount set or whatever that's on the side of the transmission tunnel. So the seat is in a pretty good spot in the car where it is there. The seat doesn't look particularly happy because that seat has been involved in a significant accident. So that can never go in a car and stay in a car. You'd be a fool to try it anyway. Look at the condition of it. You just wouldn't want to use it. But that's besides the point. I digress. So once you've got your seat figured out, as I said, then you can start going, right, where's a suitable mount position for our base for our main hoop? And is that going to be compatible with where we've got our seat? In this case, we'll simply go for the top of that grey panel there in that front left corner and tag it onto the sill as well, and that should give us plenty of strength with this particular car because of the way we're doing things here. Once that's all done, we've got the main cage and we've got backstays and all that, and everything's all tied in so it's not going to move around too much. It can then go on the hoist and I can get underneath and I can put the rest of the structure in that we want to put in for this rear chassis. But as it is at the moment, it sits pretty good when it's got its own weight holding everything. But if I try and pick this car up on the sills, this whole rear chassis section will just sag down and we'll bow out the rear panels and she goes all bendy. Not designed to be picked up at the moment. So I've spoken with the good guys at Motorsport New Zealand because we're doing something not in the box of the norm. Normally backstays would come back and they would go onto the top of the rear wheel arches, the inner liners, the guards, whatever you want to call them, the tubs, onto the top of the strut towers or whatever. There'd be some sort of structure back here that you can come back to and tag onto there. There's nothing. And this is not going to be anything. We're only going to put, I'm not sure what the owner's going to, he's going to do that. So I've left a bit of a tab off the side that needs to be trimmed up. And that could be aluminium panel going in there, or it could be fiberglass sheet, or it could be anything, right? So it's just to stop, even plastic, just to stop the dirt and crap flinging up from there and going into the, what there is of an engine bay. So we're not going to be able to come back to there with our backstays without building something specifically to suit that, to make that work. So in this particular instance, I want to come back and go onto the top of these. So we've had a wee chat about that, and they're just coming back to me soon to confirm that, yeah, what we talked about is going to work and there shouldn't be any issues. So I've asked the owner. That it rolls. It's so good being able to roll it. she didn't roll for a while. I had to literally pick up the back end and walk it like a wheelbarrow. I've asked the owner to send some pictures of, or a picture of what he wanted for door bars. He's done that, so I know he just wants the basic cross arrangement with a couple of gussets and all that sort of carry on. So we can work around designing that based on where we're going to make the seat fit. The seat can probably come up a little bit from where it is and go towards the middle of the car a bit. It's better for safety and it's better for lining up. How am I going to show you that? Hang on. We'll come around here. It's better for lining up the steering wheel to the center line of the seat. You see most cars from the factory, they have the steering wheels actually quite offset to the seat. And same with the pedals. You don't really notice it when you just jump in a car and drive it. If you're trying to set something up for motorsport and that can become something you want to think about. So if the seat comes up and across the left by about, it'd be a good 50 or 60 mils, you'll line up your pedals and your steering wheel a lot better, and you'll give yourself more room for your door bars and all that sort of carry on. But at the moment, it looks like it's pretty much all go just for putting the main hoop in on the top outer front corners of those grey panels, as I discussed, so we can find our tube bender. It's tucked over there in the mess under the lathe there. It's over there somewhere. We can drag that out, find our piece of tube, that one there, the big fat one, 44mm tube, and start bending. Fun times. And just like that, there was the main hoop, or the start of. If you thought bending that with a manual bender without the pedestal was easy, you'd be wrong. 44mm is actually really hard to do. Involves lots of extensions on tubes and things, a lot of hard work. It's not the best situation, but that's not actually where that's going to go. That is going to go forward a little bit. We will be building some boxy type things here. I did say I was going to put it here and then put some structure underneath it, but I've decided we're going to move it a little bit further forward so that we line up with our B pillar a bit better. And then we can have a nice gusset in between here and here, give the car some strength. So we're going to build a box there where the end of my finger is, tie it onto the original floor, the original sill and all that sort of carry on, and lift it up just a little bit. I mean, it's tall enough, right? But it's not quite as high as what I wanted it. It just didn't work out that way. I've made some sort of a error with my measurements or whatever. I want another 20 or so up from where we are there. That's fine. It's no big deal. Cool. Okay, so I need to mock up or make the boxes and tack them in place and sit that on top of it. Then we'd start doing front laterals, and we can look at door bars and all that sort of carry on. Chewed up a lot of the day. It's after 2 o'clock already. Look at that. Bluetooth foot plates. Awesome, eh? Just hangs. Just chilling. That's how that's just chilling. I've made a start. Probably something you would possibly do last. Most people, I guess. Bolted those onto, not welded, it's welded there, and bolted to where the original, that thing there on the roof, the original slidey brackety thingy for the seatbelt. Ta-da! So now we've got that secured, secure enough, exactly where it needs to be in the car. Exactly. And then we can build these boxes that I was talking about down here, and we can do the front boxes that need to go in down there, or possibly put it directly on the floor. So it's actually quite hard doing it directly onto the floor. And make a start on all the rest of the things. There's a little bit of day left, so cold drink and then something else might happen. I think I'll do the easy one at the moment, which is going to be our diagonal from there down to there, or I could do it from the passenger side, I guess, doesn't matter, either or. Better to do it from the driver's side on this one, and put a harness bar through there. It'll work out pretty much in this general area. As you can see, that's where the harness goes through the seat. Seat will be a little bit higher than that, so bar about here somewhere will be good as gold. by the time we've done the diagonal and those two there, we probably are running out of day, possibly, but we'll see. That's the basics of the main hoop done, taken care of. Of course, diagonal harness bars. There's no passenger seat for this vehicle at the moment. I'm not sure if he does want to put one in. I did try and call, he was busy, couldn't get through to him, so there's a bar has gone in same height as the other one, so if he does want to put a passenger seat in, he can. Won't have to modify the cage and re-homologate and all that sort of carry on, and it'll you just set up the passenger seat so that it's the right size for the bar. It pays to put the whole thing through, or staggered, whatever. Anyway, people get a bit cranky if you don't put the passenger side one in there and just have the driver's side. Cool. Well, that all came out relatively okay. It's not weld porn. I'm not pretending it is. I'm not trying to be. It just needs to be sufficient, adequate. It needs to be done nice and strong. There's plenty of that there. Plenty strong. So that's all a bit hot. I'm not going to try and fit it back into the vehicle just to look at it and go, there it is. We'll leave that there, and we'll smash that back in the morning. Start looking at other things, like I say, the front laterals, the door bars, heaps to do. Will take all week probably, or at least 3 days I would think. Okay, another short video, never mind. Cheers for watching. Thanks, bye.